Hi, welcome to Jamie's Product Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at Masters of the Universe Origins Mantenna, Evil Spy with a Pop-Out Eyes. Yes, I've got another member of the Evil Horde. Yeah, and of course his gimmick is that he uses his pop-out eyes to spy on the heroic warriors and maybe even Skeletor's evil warriors as well. Oh, and also the members of the Great Rebellion. There are some differences between this and the Filmation version. He looks very much different than he did in the She-Ra cartoon. You know, in the She-Ra cartoon, you know, he was always Hordak's most loyal servant, but Hordak also had it in for him as well because, you know, he was always, every time Mantenna screwed up, Hordak was always dumping him down in the trap of the Fright Zones. And Mantenna always talked in that, I'm gonna get you, rebel. Another difference is that in the cartoon, his eyes pop straight out in front of him, while this version, the eyes pop up above his head. And in the cartoon, he didn't use his eyes to spy on enemies. He used his eyes as weapons to shoot beams from them. You know, in the Secret of the Sword movie, when he first appeared, he would shoot this red ray out that would paralyze his foes, and then later in the regular She-Ra series on TV, he would shoot these laser beams from his eyes to try to stun or paralyze or inflict damage on the members of the Great Rebellion. Let's get this guy out of his package and we'll take a closer look at him and his accessory. Alright, I freed Mantenna from his bonds, and here he is, right here. He comes with this mini comic. The Horde is a pig head. I guess this is about the main villain from the Rulers of the Sun line, but it's just characters from the wave that Mantenna came from, including Pighead himself, and just not into the whole Rulers of the Sun stuff like many other people might be. I mean, if other people like Rulers of the Sun, you know, hey, that's cool, but I'm just not much for Rulers of the Sun. But anyway, here's the mini comic. We'll just set this aside, and it also comes with this instruction sheet that tells which parts are removable and which parts are not. Put those aside. So here's Mantenna in all his bug-eyed glory. He looks very much like he did in the vintage line. He's got the eyes with the red veins in them. He's got the spider-like mouth. And yes, the big difference between this and the vintage line, he's got 4 legs. Yeah, because if you remember the vintage version, he did have 4 legs, but 2 legs were fused together on each side, which made it look like he had 2 legs, but I guess that was a shortcut they took back then. But here, they went all out with the legs, and they gave him 4 legs as he appeared in the Filmation cartoon. Yeah, and because he's got 4 legs, it's very easy to stand him up and pose him. So let's go over the articulation. The head still moves on a ball joint. It moves up and down. The vintage version did not have a moving head because the lever that activates his action feature was placed on his back, while this one is placed on the back of his head, which allows for his head to be moved around. Plus he twists at the waist. His arms move out, up, down, bend at the elbow, twist at the wrist, and yes, each leg has their own articulation at each bend at the knees. These are kind of stiff, and I think they've got like an ankle cut. I think they do. Yeah, they've got an ankle cut. They pivot at the ankles and all that. Now let's talk about the action feature of this, and this is where I kind of have an issue, because if you remember the action feature on the old vintage figure, you would pull the lever up and his eyes would pop out, and if you kept the lever up, you were able to keep it up in that position. You were able to the eyes would stay popped out, which made for some great poses and great scenarios when you were playing with your action figures. This one, as I mentioned, the lever's in the back. Here, you just push down on it. You push down on it, and the eyes do pop out. But the problem is, you can't leave them popped out. As soon as you let go of the lever, eyes immediately they fall back into place. So that sucks. I don't understand why they made it like this. I mean, it would have been nice to keep the eyes like this, because since that's his main feature. So when I do my picture videos, I'm gonna have to find a way to keep the eyes popped out in place, or make some sort of adjustments or editing to my videos just to take pictures of him with his eyes popped out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good that his eyes pop out, but wow, I mean, would it have hurt the creators to at least keep it faithful to the vintage version, and at least make it so that you can actually keep the eyes popped out like the vintage version? I mean, why did they have to go and change that for? But it's still an excellent figure, and the highlight of this is definitely the 4 separate legs. And I forgot to mention, he does come with a weapon, the standard Horde crossbow. Honestly, I never understood the point of these. I mean, for me, this is probably the most overlooked feature of the Horde figures. It always has been, and it probably always will be. I just never understood these. I mean, you press them together, and I guess it's supposed to pop out. You know, whoopee. I mean, yes, it's nice to display them with their weapons, and you can pretend like it shoots magical beams. But Mantenna already does that with his eyes, or at least he did in the Filmation cartoon. So yeah, I mean, you just place it in this one of his arms, and he shoots out, and now he's got an extra weapon other than his eyes. Yeah, come get me now, She-Ra. Yeah, you're all mine, Bo. Yeah, surrender to me, Glimmer. Here's what I have for the Evil Horde. The Horde army is slowly building. Here is Hordak and the rest of the Evil Horde, ready to make life miserable for anyone who crosses their paths, whether it's She-Ra on Etheria, or He-Man on Eternia, or Hordak's old pupil Skeletor, or maybe even the Snake Men as well. This is my review of Mantenna, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye bye. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you at the next video.